Hey everyone, today's tutorial I actually came up with by accident. I failed trying to record two other makeup tutorials and I eventually came up with this. So if you want to see how I came up with this really fun, neutral makeup with a pop of pink on the lips, then just keep watching. So we're going to get started by taking an eyeshadow base. I'm using this one by Avon, and if you live in Ireland like me, Avon has ceased trading, so unfortunately this isn't available anymore. But you can just use foundation and a bit of powder and it'll do the exact same thing. It'll prep and prime the eyes for shadow. To set that base in place, I'm going to use a cream coloured eyeshadow, which is actually quite close to my skin tone, and I'm just using this on a fluffy brush and I'm applying it all over the lid and up to the brow bone. For the lid colour, I'm taking this shimmery shade and I'm applying it all over the eyelid with a C-shaped brush. I'm just using patting motions to pack the colour onto the lid, and you can lightly take it up into the crease of the eye if you want. Now I'm going to take a light brown eyeshadow and I'm just going to map out my shape with this eyeshadow. Because it's a light shade, we can blend it away quite easily if we make any mistakes. Just using it on a definer brush to kind of give me a guide as to where to place the eyeshadow later on. Now I'm going to go in with a darker brown eyeshadow and I'm going to start building up the colour. So this shade is really going to give me that definition to the shape. Rather than try to create your shape in one go, I think you're better off doing it in steps, so kind of break it down like a join the dots. So once you've done that, your shape should look something like this. I find an angle brush helps to give me that real sharp, precise line. Then I'm going to go in with my definer brush and I'm taking a little bit of that dark brown eyeshadow and I'm running it along that C shape we created. Now to help soften that line, I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush and I'm just going to blend where I need to. So right along that outer edge where the eyeshadow stops, you want it to be really soft. Then I'm going to go in with a tiny bit more of that lightest brown shade and I'm going to use this as my transition colour. So it's going to help everything fade out quite naturally. We want it soft and smoky. So we always want the outer edges of the eyeshadow softened, but I'm doing a kind of cut crease, so I want to add definition back to that shape that we created. So I'm just going back in with a little bit of the dark eyeshadow and I'm going to redefine that shape. I decided then to continue on that line and bring it right along the upper lash line. So I just used the same brown eyeshadow on the angled brush and I'm kind of keeping it as close to the lashes as possible. Now you want to take any highlight shade of your choice. You can even just leave it with the neutral shade we applied first, but I wanted a little bit of shimmer, so I'm using that eyeshadow. And then I'm going to take the darker brown along my lower lash line. And I'm using it on the small angled brush first because I want the most defined part of the shadow to be on my lash line, and then I'm going to smoke it out with the definer brush. To amp up the lashes, I'm taking Benefit's Bad Gal Mascara and applying a few coats to my top and bottom lashes, and then I'm going to line my waterline with Demolition by Urban Decay. It's just a really nice brown shade to finish off the eyes. For the face, I've already applied my foundation and now I'm just going to conceal any dark circles or any fallout that I had maybe from the shadows. I'm going to use a fluffy blending brush to give me that really nice airbrushed finish to the concealer. I want it quite light and soft and natural, not cakey. So to further ensure the concealer is blended well, I'm just going back over the areas with the beauty blender I used to apply my foundation. So now you're going to need to set everything in place. So the method that I love lately is to use a beauty blender. So you just apply a little bit of water on this, squeeze it out until it expands, then you apply your foundation, and I love to apply my powder as well with this. I way prefer this method than to an ordinary powder brush. I find it just gives me such a flawless finish and it gives me a really full coverage finish. So I just squeeze it down to set under the eye area. Then I'm going to contour my face and I'm just taking a little bit of the bronzer and applying it to the cheekbones, and I'm only keeping it in that area. Then we're going to highlight the face and I'm just applying this on the tops of my cheekbones just to give me a bit of luminosity and to give me a nice healthy glow. For lips, we're going to do a fun pop of colour, so I'm going to take this lip liner by Inglot. I'm going to start out by lining my lips and then I'm actually not going to fill them in. I'm going to use the Inglot Lipsticks, I find that they don't move all day long. Even if I don't fill in my lips, I don't have that lined lip effect. So I'm just taking the lipstick and then filling any of the blank areas in, and then that completes my look. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and fun to watch, and I hope you try it out soon. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.